Hello, good afternoon. This is a rare treat. Live at 3 minutes to the hour of 12 instead of 5 o'clock on a Wednesday. So it'll be interesting to see how many people can make it live. If you are here with me live, give me some thumbs up, give me some love hearts, give me a hashtag live, give me some chat. Give me some chat, my lovelies. Right, hello, lovely Anna. How you doing? Are you in lunch? Are you working today? Just share your life story. Hi, Catherine. I hope you're good. Hope you are good. Right, so today I am very excited. We did our first ever competition last week and we closed it on Monday and it's been incredible. So I'm very excited to announce the winner today. But before we do that, we are going to be talking about disordered eating and how damaging it can be, and what we can give you some ideas on, if you think you are experiencing signs of disordered eating, some hints and tips of changing it. So, Sarah's live from Asda. Hi, Asda. Oh, I could do a wee kind of... Hey! Please don't show everybody in Asda that. I mean, I couldn't possibly be like, they'd be like, oh my God, we need to run the adverts. Oh, and it'd be so much less annoying than that family that they had, was it at Christmas time? Oh my God, they were awful. I had to turn off the adverts. Just like, oh my God, if I saw them in the shop, I'd be like, get away from me, maniacs. Right, okay. Disordered eating. So I'm going to do disordered eating. I'm going to announce the winner. Then the reason why I'm not doing it at 5 tonight is because I'm taking the afternoon off. Now, for those of you that know me, this is a rare thing. And I've had a little bit of a moment over the past wee while about, I started up the Future Fempreneurs coaching program, and I've got a group for women that are either starting out in their coaching journey or want to be coaches or want to set up their own business. And one of the things I asked them to do was think about why do you want to do this? Why do you want to give up a really nice job and go and do something else for yourself? And I was like, why did I want to do it? And it was all about, being able to share my skills, freedom for me, be able to do the things that I want to do rather than being bound to having to travel 2 hours a day. And then I was like, I'm now not in a different office, I'm just in my home office, and so I'm getting my nails done this afternoon and I'm going for a solo lunch. And I'm quite excited. Solo lunch, and if you're ever anywhere near Trin in Ayrshire, then there's a wee cafe called Bloom, and it's, how some cafes smell of stale fat when they fry the chips? They don't have anything fried, so it doesn't smell like that, and it's very nice. I'm gonna have a soul bowl. Right, okay, disordered eating. So disordered eating is hugely damaging. Okay, it is a very real issue. What I have found over the years is that it's a lot more common than we might think, but not a lot of people would actually ever put themselves in that bucket. And it's very, very hard because disordered eating is not an eating disorder. However, it is now becoming under the umbrella of eating disorders when we think about how damaging it can be from an emotional point of view, a physical point of view, and a mental point of view. It can be quite dangerous, and it can lead on to future challenges around eating disorders. Okay, now currently in the UK, from an eating disorder point of view, eating disorders are diagnosed using very strict, clear criteria and must be diagnosed by medical professional, usually a GP or a psychotherapist or something along those lines, within very clear criteria. And I will say this very upfront, that we have quite a hard and fast rule that if somebody has got a diagnosed eating disorder, we will not be able to support them until they have had sign off from their key practitioner. Normally that's a GP. And the reason for that is because that very clear criteria and the mental health impact of that. That said, where somebody has had that sign off and we have a really open and honest conversation then about, you know, expectations and whatnot, then yeah, we will help. We've had quite a few ladies with past experiences with bulimia, past experiences with anorexia. Okay, so disordered eating is really, really common and much, and it can really impact on esteem. It can really impact on how we feel about ourselves, which is esteem, I suppose, and can really ruin relationship with food. And it's, I don't want to say, over the years, especially in our generation, it's almost been promoted from I'm going to name some things, but disordered eating has ultimately was kind of the norm at one point. And the thing that got me thinking about this was, do you remember when Kellogg's did the eat 2 bowls of cereal diet? Eat 2 bowls of cereal for your breakfast or your lunch and a normal meal at night. That's not normal. That is not acceptable, not nutritionally sound. Slim Fast is another one. Here, have this shitty shake for your breakfast and your lunch and then have a normal meal at night. That is a form of disordered eating because you're replacing food, and we need food. You know, the act of eating isn't just about fueling our body. There's a whole process that goes on with our body with the act of eating. So when you put food up to your face, the sense of smell triggers something in the saliva. The saliva then has enzymes in that's going to break down your nutrients properly. It's then going to make sure all the nutrients go to the different bits, and it's going to help your food process through your body. And all, like, your body is made to do things properly. Clara, heroin chic, for those of you of my generation, when you opened up the Just 17 More magazine, it was like shadows and like actual starvation, and you know, it was promoted as that's the thing. So anyway, now if you have ever thought that you might be experiencing forms of disordered eating, now these are, I'm going to give a lot of examples of what I've heard people say, what evidence is saying that this is not, if you experience all of these, it does not mean you are experiencing disordered eating, but it's certainly worthwhile you thinking about. But what we see is being very all or nothing, you know, despite best intentions of trying to be consistent, trying to be 80%, trying to make progress, not perfection, all or nothing. And that's it. You know, you will either starve yourself or you'll eat nothing but green foods, and then before you know it, it's binge eating. Avoiding food shopping, avoiding events that have food at them, that's quite telling. And I spoke to a lady last week who told me that she didn't go to supermarkets anymore because she knew she couldn't avoid the aisles with cakes and biscuits and crisps, and she would just buy shit. Now that, to me, that is a challenge, because I'm not here to tell somebody how to do their shopping, but if the sole reason that they are doing online shopping is to avoid looking at food because it will tempt them too much, that's a challenge that we need to overcome, because, you know, you can't avoid food in our society. Like, you're never going to go out for a meal again, you're never going to go into a shop. Frequently eating to capacity. So binge eating disorder is probably overtaken bulimia and anorexia as the primary eating disorder. But frequently eating to capacity, like, so you physically can't eat anymore, and not feeling satisfied, and that's a challenge as well. If we have anxiety around specific foods, or we skip meals, or we use exercise to negate eating, so like, oh, I had a big lunch, so I need to go for a 20k run instead of a normal 5k, you know, that trade-off, there's something not quite right there. If you have very rigid rituals or routines around food, that can be a trigger, that can be a sign. feel guilty about eating and shame around eating. And I know that shame part, it's very hard to say that out loud. But when we have consultations and, you're talking to people about, how does that make you feel? And they're like, I feel really ashamed, and I feel like if I ever admitted this to something like my family, they would think badly of me and just tell me to pull myself together and stuff. But that's something to overcome. That's not just the food. That's the relationship that we've got with food. That's the feelings around food. If we find ourselves having quite secretive behaviours around food, wait until somebody goes out the door before shoveling 20 Kit Kats down your throat, or feeling self-conscious about eating around people, or just trying to think of any more. Yeah, there's loads of them, loads. And I'm not saying if you experience any of them, that you have got disordered eating and you need to go and get therapy. That's not what I'm saying, but I certainly want you to think about, if you do experience any of those, why is that? How often does that happen? For how long has that been happening? And I can give you some hints and tips about how to start overcoming it. If you do think that actually, this is something worthwhile I need to think about. Now, disordered eating is quite hard to put in a bucket, because as you've just experienced there are so many different things. And that's why it's really important to be really, really honest when you're thinking about this kind of stuff, or when you're talking to somebody, and say, right, okay, is that me? Why am I doing this? Or am I just sweeping it under the carpet? And it can be, it doesn't matter how switched on somebody appears, or how much somebody seems to have it together. Somebody could always be experiencing all of these kind of things under the surface. And it can put people under significant stress. It can impact mental health. If you think of some of the words that I use there, guilt, shame, anxiety, self-esteem, confidence, they are all things that have a huge part to play with our mental and emotional health. And I think the key thing to remember is that it's not about the food. It's not the food, it's the feelings, it's the emotions behind it all. And the way that their relationship with food might be helping them to cope with certain things that are going on in their life, or it might be a control mechanism. And one of the things that I see a lot with the group of ladies here is that, and I say this in the nicest possible way because 99% of our clients are exactly the same, they are very type A personalities. They may call themselves control freaks. I certainly do call myself a control freak. And the disordered eating and the constant dieting, or the all or nothing, are just another example of that. But we can always dig a little bit deeper and say, okay, is this a way of me being in control? Is this a way of helping me cope with X, Y, and Z? And it's digging into those aspects, because at the end, I don't particularly like this phrase at all, but food is fuel. Food is designed to fuel our bodies and get energy, but food has a huge social aspect, has a huge cultural aspect of us, and it's important that we have a healthy relationship with food, so that we can have a healthy relationship with other people, that we can have a healthy relationship with society and culture, and do all the things that we want to be able to do without that whole, well, I can't go there because they're going to be serving food and I can't help myself on a buffet. I can't say no. I'll have to have 5 portions and eat until to stuffed, and then beating ourselves up over it, or starving ourselves for 3 days after it, or over exercising to compensate for it. There's an element of control in there. Now, if you do think that you are experiencing disordered eating, or you know that there is something there that you need help with, so There's loads. There's not one magic wand. I really wish that I could. I don't even have a wand. I know that's a ridiculous statement, but when I worked in Glasgow, I did actually have a magic wand in my drawer because I was a fixer, and Sarah Berlos, you'll remember this, I had that magic wand that twinkled, and people say, oh, can we do this, and we need to do this, and we need to make it live yesterday, and we need to have 5,000 of these, and and we need to get in there to help, and about that, pull out a wand and going, right, okay, yeah, we can make that happen. Anyway, right, so there is no one magic wand, there's countless combinations of different things to do, and that's, that is why our program is so successful, because we work with people at an individual level to understand their situation, their past challenges, their current challenges, and create, coping strategies or ways to resolve things. But there's a lot of generic things that everybody can do. So reaching out for support, absolutely, share what is going on with either a professional or someone you trust. And if you want to get help, reach out to one of us. We can absolutely have a conversation about, can we help here? There's loads of resources. There's loads of charities and support services around mental health, around eating disorders. Do not think, if you've been experiencing eating disordered eating for months, years, decades in some instances, no amount of I can just fix it, or I just need to be more disciplined, or I just need to have more willpower, I just need to be more motivated, that's not the solution. That is not the solution. And by thinking like that and trying to keep telling yourself that I can just fix it myself, despite the evidence of months or years of not being able to fix it, get help, get support. People know what they're doing, so reach out. Another thing that can be really beneficial is recognizing what is good, recognizing what you have done positively every single day or every half day or whatever suits the individual. But this can be either a way of showing gratitude, or in the evening sitting down and going, all these good things happened today. And when we start recognizing that good things are happening, it takes the focus away from the negative things. Because what we tend to find is when people are trying to overcome, when people are on a weight loss journey, for example, they will beat themselves up. They'll get to the end of the day and go, oh, I did so well in the morning, and then I got to tea time and I ate the kids' fish fingers, and then I had some toast, and then I had some crackers, and then I had some wine, and I've just ruined the whole thing. But what they didn't mention is that, well, in the morning I had some protein and I had 2 apples, and my boss said I looked really good today, and my husband gave me a kiss on the cheek, and the kids were really nice. There has been no mention of the positive of what happened that day. So if we constantly are focusing on the negatives, what we focus on becomes reality. So if we're always focusing on the negatives, we're only going to see, feel, and believe the negatives, okay? But if we switch that and start focusing on the positives, seeing, recognize, and believe, that's what we'll see, that's what we'll believe. And that's quite a huge part about all the mindset coaching. So although recognize the fact, life is not going to be 100% all the time, but it's probably a lot better than what you give it credit for if you were to start recognizing the good. Starting every day from scratch. So if you get up in the morning and you go, this is very typical of a Monday. No, let's say a Friday. Get up in the morning and you go, oh, I fucked it now because I had a bottle of wine last night and I had a packet of crisps and I was doing so well. So I might as well just go and have a big fry up or a bacon butty, or go to the shop and get a croissant and a latte or whatever. Start every day as if how you mean to go on, okay? It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. It's gone. You cannot change it. If you stress and worry about it, yeah, you're going to feel stressed and worried, but nothing is going to change the fact that it's already done. Okay, so you get up in the morning or after lunch, whatever it is, and you just move forward. Just move forward. And yes, it's important to recognize patterns. So if you have a pattern of every Friday getting up and going, oh, well, I fucked it now, and going for a croissant and a latte, then, okay, you need to work back and go, okay, well, what do I need to change on a Thursday? What do I need to change on Wednesday? Do I need to build in a glass of wine on a Tuesday that stops me then craving it on a Thursday? Do I need to build in more achievable things for myself? So start every day new and don't stress. I know it's easy for me to say, but set your intentions. And for those of you in the academy, intention setting is hugely powerful. Today I want to do. Today I want to feel accomplished, inspired, productive, low stress. And if you start focusing on how you want to feel, if you focus on it, it becomes reality. Another important thing is scheduling in positive things. So it could be a phone call with your pal, it could be going out for a nice lunch, it could be getting your nails done or taking it off in my case. It could be, I don't know, weeding your garden. Whatever helps you feel good. Trying a new recipe. I don't know, browsing, try and avoid browsing the internet because it's guaranteed to make you feel shit in one way or another. Like when you go, oh, I wish I looked like her, I wish I had their house, I wish my garden looked like that, I wish my dog was not as mental as theirs. You know, comparison's a terrible, terrible thing. A book, read, development, whatever. So plan small things to enjoy that make you feel good about you. All right. A very, very powerful thing is creating patterns, creating habits, patterns, routines, habits, whatever you want to call them, but not trying to overwhelm yourself by trying to do everything right at first. Building things in sequential order is going to build confidence, it's going to build trust in yourself, and it's going to build, it's going to embed these new patterns. So create new normals, essentially. So if you know, right, here's quite a common one, like coming home from work and grazing around the kitchen. This is hugely common. Grazing, and you've been good all day and grazing. Right, that actually tells me that you have not eaten enough food in the early part of the day. So a new pattern could be that you have a bigger breakfast, or you actually have breakfast, because some women don't eat breakfast, but you have a breakfast, or you have a bigger breakfast, or you have a more protein-rich breakfast. And that is building, creating a new normal. Another good thing to try and do is research, but you've got to be very, very careful with, because there's so much noise on the internet, there's so many gurus, there's so many people that some are brilliant, absolutely, and some are knobs, and some are unscrupulous. So do your research, you know, whether it's mindset, whether it's knowledge about nutrition. And I will say this, I've actually heard this quite a few times of women doing nutrition courses to try and solve their disordered eating habits. It's not the nutrition knowledge that's the problem, it's the relationship with food that's the problem. So you could go and do all the nutrition courses in the world, it's not going to change anything, it's just going to give you knowledge about science, doesn't change anything emotionally or mentally, okay? And another really good thing is use, like going back to the kind of getting help, do your research, but you know, if you go through the guide section here, there's over 100, I think there's probably over 110 live, well, they're not live now because I can't be live 100 times in once, but masterclasses from various topics of, you know, how do I do this? How do I change my mindset around food? How do I create a better relationship with food? How do I stop snacking? Go back and look at all the different advice, watch and learn and implement. And if you truly, truly, truly want to change that pattern, then action is what is going to get you there. Not information, not knowledge, not reading, but actual taking some action. So, as I said, there is no one size fits all. There is a combination of different things that we do that does work. Absolutely. Sorry, I just saw your comments there, Vicky. mindset stuff is so important, because it's not just how much protein has this got, how many calories has this got. That's the science of fat loss, absolutely. But if we don't change our patterns and thoughts around it, then nothing will change. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Let me see who's got. Do we have any questions around this? And I don't want to scare people. Like, this is the goal of this, is not to scare people into thinking that they've got all these troubles. It's to help people identify, why maybe things don't change, or why we always go back to habits and patterns. Yeah, I agree, Vicky, and I do genuinely think that there's a whole raft of stuff that, from a generation point of view, has contributed to the upsurge. I don't know if that's the right word. But as I've said before, nobody is broken. Everything, for every problem, there is a solution. And it scares me that, like, I had a lady yesterday who was booked in for a call with me today, and then cancelled because she said, I don't believe I can lose weight. I've been trying for years. Don't believe I can lose weight. And you're like, well, do you know what? That's entirely your prerogative. And there's a whole raft of things that we can dig into. Like, is it truly lack of belief, or is it, just giving yourself permission to not even try anymore? Is it, it does make me feel really, really sad that somebody has got so stuck that they genuinely don't believe there's a way out. Genuinely don't believe there's a way out. Karen. Hi, Karen. Where'd you start? I thought I was fixed so many times. You start at the very start, and you start with belief, and you start with making a choice of, am I prepared? Do I want to change? Why do I want to, why? What is your powerful why? And a lot of people decide that they want to be a size 10 or whatever, but they've never been a size 10. But their why is, I just want to be a size 10, because they've been conditioned to believe that they should be a size 10. But what is that actually going to do for you? How is that going to make you feel? How is it going to make your life better? And if it's not ultimately going to make your life any better, then why does it have to be a 10? If you've tried before and failed and failed and failed and failed, why that number? The other option is, coaching, therapy. If you believe that you do have some form of disordered eating, then you absolutely do need help of experts. And there's just so many facets to it. So many facets. So much shame attached to eating disorders of all kinds. How can we challenge that? It's an interesting one, Vicky. I don't know the answer to that. I think certainly having solutions is one way. Talking about it is another way. I suppose because it's a mental health challenge as well, and I don't have the answer. I would love to have the answer, but I don't. How can I get the answer? There's so much opportunity. There really is. So yeah, I don't know the answer. I think there's a huge education plays a huge part for sure. And I think that I don't know an awful lot about teenagers these days. And it's been a long time since I was a teenager. But certainly from what I hear from clients and friends who have teenagers, is that it's quite scary, this whole body image and expectation. And even I remember I was getting my nails done, this was a couple of years ago, and the girl that was doing my nails, she was only 18. She was talking about our friends that were going back to school, and they were getting lip fillers, and they were getting their highlights done, their lip fillers to go back to school, and their fake eyelashes, and getting their hair all highlighted and stuff like that. What the fuck? In Scotland, it's 5th and 6th years, so 16, 17-year-olds. I don't know what year group they'd be in England. And you're just like, why? Like at 16, 17, I was debating whether I should wear my bottle green Doc Martens or my black knee-high Doc Martens, and had to hide them in my school bag because my mum wouldn't let me wear them to school, and rolling up my skirt, slapping on some black eyeliner. And I don't know if anybody has the joy of looking back at photos and they're going, oh, I really wish GHDs had been invented then. But yeah, the whole body image and expectation of what we should look like has a lot to play. Anyway, that's going on to a whole moral ethics, I don't know, type of conversation. Right, let's talk competitions. So who's only here for the winners? Who's only here for the winners? So I've lost my spreadsheet. I didn't know until about an hour ago who the winner of the competition is. So if you bear with me 1 second, I just need to bring over the stuff. So we have the protein sachets. We have the metal shaker. Clara wanted to highlight the hip. We have some sachets of essential amino acids. We have some high protein chocolate. We have some cherry flavored drops. I've got the raspberry ones. I've managed to get the right concentration, but these can be used in yogurt, waters, milks, anything. If you somebody else tell me what they can use in. And a wee vegan Chucky Choo Choo bar. Right, so let's do, of everybody that took part in this resulted in 609 new group joins to the Hot Body Project. So welcome to all you 609 people. And we had, let me see how many we had. We had 17 people, take part. So thank you to all of you. And I'm going to do it in the top 3 in reverse order. So in 3rd place with 124 invites was Joanne Fallon. Well done, Joanne Fallon. Thank you very much. In 2nd place with 151 invites, we had the lovely Ellie Jones. And in 1st place, we had a last-minute surge from Sarah Alton, who invited a grand total of 177 people to the group. So big well done to Sarah Alton. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I'm going to pop that in here, and she's probably not in Asda anymore. So Sarah, drop me a note with your address. I don't know if you've moved or not, but just send me an up-to-date address. I'll get this over to you. Probably, it won't be today, I'll post it probably tomorrow or Friday, and I'll get it down to you and you can enjoy all these goodies. All right, so before I go, does anybody have any questions? Anyone? Oh. On Friday, that's 2 days away, send me, sorry, I was trying to type and talk at the same time, not very good at that. So on Friday, Clara and I are doing our Ask Us Anything. Now that is at 2 o'clock live in here. So that literally is Ask Us Anything. So it can be utter bullshit. It can be deep, thoughtful and meaningful. It can be anything you want. We don't mind. And we were talking about this earlier yesterday, that we have such a good time doing it, but we actually genuinely don't know if anybody else listens, but we're going to do it anyway. For our Academy ladies tonight, we have the Sustainable Stylist. Can't say that with a bit of a speech, a bit of a lisp. Sustainable Stylist. She is awesome, and she's going to be taking everybody through how to create a capsule wardrobe. If anybody wants to follow her on Instagram, Sustainable Stylist, she's very good. She also does one-to-one style overhauls. She's very good. And that's it. That's all I have for you today. Hope that helped. I am going to be sitting, I probably won't be doing much at 5 o'clock when I'm normally doing my live, but I'll be sitting there feeling a little bit unnerved that I've got some downtime. All righty, my loves. Have a great day, and reach out if you need any help on this disordered eating stuff. It's you know, creating that freedom is hugely, hugely powerful. Creating that freedom from, all these emotions and feelings and distrust around food is such a powerful powerful thing to overcome. So if we can help you on that journey, then shout. Okay, my darlings, have a great one, and I will speak to you soon. Bye 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 bye.